Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2.
Look what happened when I play regular people. When I play regular people, shit like this happens.
All right. Let's take a look at the bracket. What's going on, fellas? AntHits, the franchise guru. Game of Thrones 2 Pro Bowl selection. Before we get to that, we gotta take a deep dive into what's been going on in this bracket out here. We're gonna start off with the AFC as always right now. So here we go. The number one seed was the Ravens. They were waiting to play in the divisional round. So 2 versus 7. The Chargers was upset by their away team, Tennessee Titans. Coach Black upset Coach Corey in a 23-17 victory. Titans was playing very well down the stretch. Um, and it seems like quarterback Ty Cash in his sophomore campaign is just getting better, man. So I know there's a lot of expectations. As a rookie, he lost in the wild card round. As a sophomore, he went to the divisional round. So the future looks bright for him. Ty Cash and his Tennessee offense. But what made the Tennessee Titans special for the last couple of seasons to get in the playoffs has been their defense. Their defense has really been lights out. They've been in top 5 categories in some of the defensive categories. They've been in top 5 for sure. Really, really tough against the run and the pass. They got one of the top corners, Anthony Jones, and one of the top safeties in Kyle Duggar. So here we go. 3 versus 6. We saw a really good game, 31-28. This game was riddled with turnovers. The Pittsburgh Steelers caused turnovers, which created points for them and holding on to the 31-28 victory. They did go up in this game off those turnovers by double digits. The Jaguars and Coach Rat over there making the playoffs for the first time since he's taken this Jaguars team over. And Kyle Moore, the running back over there, was playing at a high level. Dive into some of what happened in this game. 230 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns, no picks. It looks like Kyle Moore wasn't the centerpiece. He did touch the ball 18 times for 90 yards, 5 yards a carry. He fumbled twice, and those 2 fumbles probably kept him away from making it an all-run game. I was surprised when Haney throwing the ball. Tight end caught the ball for 2 catches, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. Big plays. DJ Chark had 2 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown as well. Big plays out there. So, again, Albert pulled the game out 31-28. Dirty Rat playing a hell of a football game. Down 3, up 3-0. They went down 14-3. Even Pittsburgh scored 14 and 17 in quarters 2 and 3. And then it was a standstill quarter 4. Neither one scored. 31-28 ball game. This game was a fair sim, 28-30, which moved the Jets to the divisional round, which gave us the matchup of 4 versus 6, Jets versus Steelers, and 1 versus 7, Ravens versus Titans. Over on the NFC side, 2 had 7, 52-20. At the end of the day, Harold Burgers, man, had those Giants and Kyler Murray playing at a high level all year. He had a really good season. I mean, they had a receiver with the number 1 receiver stat yards wise in the league this year. Kyler Murray played at a high level. Give me a second. What's up, Mom? Mom, what's up? Yeah. Yeah, all you got look at your remote controls and look at the back of it, and the one that says TV remote is the one you're gonna turn the volume down with.
I can't find. That's the problem. It says cable remote.
Not you don't want that one. You want the one that say TV remote.
Okay. Now where the hell goes one at?
That's all you need, the TV remote. Or I don't know. What did you do with it?
Okay, right now.
You find that one, it got it written on the back of it, TV remote. If you find that one, you can turn the volume down. Did you find it?
Nope.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there. It got a note card on the back of it that say TV remote control.
Yeah, I actually mentioned it. I do remember to commit this hard. I just don't know about this remote control.
All right, call me back when you find it. I'm in the middle of a podcast show.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. And yeah, Coach Hillberger's back at it. Coach Hillberger's played well. The NFC East was really tight going down the stretch. They all had the same record. Each of them split. I think it made Boone rank the number one seed, which put the Washington football team at 2, and then Hillberger's finished third off that last loss to the Eagles. So they played the Saints. 52-20 was the ball game. We know the Saints had been hot down the stretch. They like really didn't lose to anybody. It was really playing at a high level. And again, Kyler Murray, 112.9 QB rating, 365 yards. He threw 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Manning was 96.2, 144, 2 touchdowns and a pick. But Kyler Murray was sacked 5 times in this game. Rushing, Kevin Gates, 25 carries, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns. I guess that's his new name. I thought it was a Boone kid, but Kyler Murray, 2 carries for 22 yards. Anytime your quarterback leading your team with 22 yards, that's the problem with these Giants, especially in these playoffs. Not being able to run the football is their doom, is the reason why the points got put up on them the way they did. If they was able to control the ball, you would think they could with Derrick Henry, but they just haven't found that rhythm yet, and that's pretty much what killed this game. But Robert Odom has been a big player. We got to start understanding who this kid is and remember his name. Robert Odom, 8 catches, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bottom line, for the last 3 seasons, this guy has led the league, been top 3 in receptions, and within yards, he's been somewhere in that top 10 with yards as well. This year, leading the league in yards, receiving yards. So let's start paying attention to Robert Odom and give him the respect he's due. He's starting to become a name amongst this league. In this ball game. So again, Saints move on 52-20. Green Bay took on a Washington football team. This game started off hot. You had 2 of the best running backs in the league playing up against each other with Bernard Bo Jackson versus George, a.k.a. Charles Barkley. 63-13 was the game. Again, this game got ugly late. It was pretty much a good game up until late third quarter. Early third quarter started to change. But it comes down to, when you look at the stats, quarterback really didn't do anything. 88 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 INTs. But the Washington football team might have found a hidden gem in Jason Campbell. Accidentally gave him the start, and by the time they went back to Donovan Griffin, it looked like it was a little too late, him throwing 6 picks. Griffin is probably the hottest quarterback on the hot seat. At the same time, one of the best quarterbacks if he's on a trading block. Like this right here is somebody's gym if they are looking for a quarterback. Because I think Jason Campbell is going to take this job going forward. This guy is a turnover machine with this Washington football team. All right, so let's look at the 2 backs. Bo Jackson, 23 carries for 115. Barkley, 18 carries for 297. He averaged 16.5 and 5 rushing touchdowns. Bottom line, it was all George Barkley in this ball game, which moved the Green Bay Packers into the divisional round as well. And then at the bottom, you had Eagles versus Falcons. This has been a matchup for like the last 2 seasons. And it looked like the Falcons does what they do for the last couple of seasons, which is knock the Eagles out of the playoffs. 31-23. Solari and Herrera, the quarterback-running back tandem, is playing at a high level. They've been playing at a high level all year. Now, the Falcons was on a couple-game losing streak, but they was able to pull it off here. So then we get to the divisional round, and we had to give, unfortunately, first of all, I just want to, show some love to Coach Falk, man. My boy Falk, mom has passed away, which prevented him to play this game. Madden becomes the last thing you want to play or even think about in a moment when you lose your mom. So everybody that's listening and watching, man, please keep him in your prayers. My boy doing strong. He's standing strong, but if it's anybody else in the league that has lost their mother, y'all can relate to him. You can understand. He can pretty much prepare him for what he go through for the rest of his life, actually. And all the rest of us that who are fortunate enough to have their parents still around, their mother, still around, man, you just want to, condole him, man. You just want to make sure he's good. So, again, Madden was the farthest thing from his mind. He gave up the first one to the Falcons. And in a way, the Falcons not playing that game kind of put him in a situation, in my opinion, would put anybody in a situation going into the NFC Championship game, having a forced win game, and then playing another guy that's a really good player in the league. So then on the other side, you had the Ravens versus number 7 Tennessee Titans, and Tennessee did what they been showing they could do all year, which is really shut good offenses down. They held us to 13 points. It was a 5-13 game, and at the end of the day, the Ravens defense is pretty good as well, and held the Tennessee Titans to five points, a field goal and its safety. So 13-5 was that game, and then you shoot over here to the Jets versus the Steelers. And last time these guys met, the Jets had the game conceded. The Steelers conceded the game by third quarter. But you wasn't going to get the same Steelers coach at all. So, Coach Mill came into this energized out. They played a really good game, 24-31. It came down to the wire. A couple of things that had to happen in this game for it to change. But this catapulted Albert to the AFC Championship, which put him in a situation where, he's playing a familiar opponent, actually, with the Baltimore Ravens coming out of the same division, which always makes the third time a trap game. And with that being said, probably the best football game that I've seen or I've been a part of in a long time happened last night between the Ravens and the Steelers, man. The Steelers hitting on all cylinders. Let's give him his proper respect real fast. It just comes down to this. They held the Baltimore Ravens to 43 passing yards. He threw the ball for 268. He had the ball 18 first downs. This is what a guy that was determined to win a ball game is going to do in a ball game where, things got to work for you, but you can make things happen as well. 18 first downs to the Ravens, 8. Ravens turned the ball over twice to his 1 turnover. Red zone, we was 100% in the red zone. They was 75%, which resulted in 2 touchdowns and a field goal. But we was only in the red zone 1 time, 1 offensive touchdown. Anytime the guy had the ball the entire game is a recipe for disaster for the person that's not having the ball. So we're playing 7-minute quarters. He just had the ball for 20 minutes and 19 seconds to my 7:41. I had the ball for a quarter. He had the ball for 3 quarters in a ball game that we won off a mistake by him at the end. They fumbled on the 1-yard line with 19 seconds to go, which gave us the dub. But other than that, not being able to get your team on the field on offense, not being able to get a stop, and a guy that can control the game like that, 20 fucking minutes in a 28-minute game, he had the ball for 20, is a testament to his offense and what he was doing in that game. We could not get a stop. Nothing worked. Our athletes didn't look like athletes. It looked like we were scrambling around, trying to figure out what they were doing on offense. They made all the plays. Even when he was getting sacked, he was thrown out of the sack. Just everything was going his way. We got the 1 stop we needed to put this in a situation, and even with that stop, wasn't enough because he drove all the way down to the 1-yard line with 19 seconds to go, with 2 timeouts, and handed the ball off to the up back and pitched it, thinking he didn't hand it off, which resulted into us jumping on a fumble and closing the game out that way. Hell of a ball game, though, so let's get to it. TJ Finley played the game of his life, perfect QB rating, 158.3, 3 touchdowns, 278 passing. He dominated the passing game. He was sacked twice, but again, 20 for 22. He only threw 2 incomplete passes. Now, 90%, that's just outrageous playing that quarterback, 12.6 yards at attempt. Now, usually when we play him, some of this 12.6, he had a touchdown bomb he threw on a broken coverage. And then he threw a lot of quick little 8-yard passes that resulted into like 15 yards, shit like that. But this was just his players making plays. His wide receivers played well for him. I'm talking about 4-yard drags, 2-yard drags, getting turned into 10 and 13 yards, things like that, which kept that average up to yards per attempt to 12.6. So at the end of the day, man, they did what they had to do to win the game. They just didn't win the game. But then, as always, on the ground, here it goes. The kid, Najee, 18 carries, 272 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. He was the absolute only part of our offense that worked in that game. And he showed up and showed out Simple as that. Look, Dwight Coney, 7 catches, 86 yards. Hamler, 3 catches, 50 yards. A lot of jet sweeps and bubble screens. 1 catch, 47 yards. Claypool, 3 for 42. The running back slash receiver, 5 for 35 and a touchdown. And even A.J. Dillon produced an 18-yard play out the backfield. These receivers over here for the Ravens didn't do anything. A couple of them, most of them ain't even touched the ball, to be honest with you, at all. So that was that. Defensively, it was a whole bunch of tackles that was made. Really wasn't no stats out here at all. You had Terrell Suggs with a sack, Breeston with a sack, and then in the interception department, you had Phillip Fry and the linebacker Gilbert III had picks. In that game, Lamar did throw 2 interceptions in this game. 28-24. And another thing, man, I've never seen somebody come out in the third quarter and got the ball back at halftime. After halftime, they got the ball back and didn't give me the ball back until it was 4 seconds they left in the third quarter. So a guy come out and take the entire 7 minutes up in a quarter and scored. He was determined to win that ball game. That was a well-coached football game, man, all the way up until the last play. All right, so on the NFC side, you had, again, so the Falcons, they already jumped into the NFC Championship game because Cardinals gave the first one out, and then you had the game that was played last night between the Green Bay Packers and New Orleans Saints. 49-31, a little baby shootout. Looked like the Green Bay jumped out 7-0. They were 21-9. Then New Orleans answered with 24 unanswered, but then Green Bay answered with 21 and a third, and then they both had a 7-7 fourth quarter, and it was just spurts. 24-14 in the second, 21-0 in the third, and that's the resulted into 49-31. Let's see who did what in this game. Ezekiel did throw the ball for 231 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Manning was 3 touchdowns, 5 picks, 321 yards. In the run games, Barkley, 23 carries, 220 yards, 9.65 touchdowns, 2 games in a row. He comes out of a playoff game with 5 touchdowns total and 10 touchdowns in the playoffs at this point. You know what they want to do. Jaleel Boone shows up all the time, 4 catches for 128 and a touchdown. Nick Killen played 2 catches, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. Big Baller Bennett, 2 touches for 51 yards in this game. Defensively, usually when you see stats over here for Green Bay, you're going to see mostly INTs. Again, here's the safeties, a corner with 2. Marcus Williams and even Jeff Okudah had 1 pick too. So that secondary was out there playing, and that was it, which led us to the matchup that we got season 2, Green Bay versus the Ravens, and Super Bowl 60 right now is the ball game, right? Yeah, can't wait to see this matchup. This is coming shortly. Right now, just want to talk about this Pro Bowl roster and see what's going on in the Pro Bowl. All right, so your starting quarterbacks, the Ravens and the Packers, none of their players will be in the Pro Bowl. All of them will be substituted for other players because they plan in the championship. So with that being said, Will Wafi Camden, starting quarterback for the NFC. Well deserved, best quarterback that year coming out as a rookie. He had the stats. He's definitely deserved to be that starter. I think only way he doesn't play in this game if he would have went to the Super Bowl. Justin Herbert, who's been playing lights out for the last about 3 seasons anyway, is the AFC starter right now. Solari for the Falcons is the backup. Deshaun Watson is the number 2 quarterback. At number 3, you got Archie Manning and Joe Burrow. Top running back since George Barkley is in the Super Bowl. Marshall Faulk is the running back over here. Naeem Hines is holding it down again. Herrera is the number 2 back. LaDainian Thomas is number 2 back for the AFC. Bo Jackson, and to me, I think if I'm playing in this game, I'm playing this kid. 2,000-yard back this year at the 3 back, and Devon Black for the Dolphins also. Fullbacks, you got Richard Steiner for the Jets, and then Dunn. I can't tell you who he played for. I have no idea. Disley as well. And Nate Shepard, fullbacks. Receivers, Giants, Odom. Chargers, Godwin. Eagles, Favors. Jets, Tyreek Hill. Cardinals, Isabella. Jets, Scantton. Cardinals, Metcalf. Texans, Duvernay. Falcons, Roddy White. Chiefs, Hardman. Saint Snipes, Bengals roughing. At tight end, we had M. Griffin. I don't know who he played for. So I'll get to him when I go to the stats. But Claypool for the Steelers, Cunningham, Knox for the Bills, Brennan McAndrews for the Texans, uh, lineman left tackle Jay Jones, I think Cardinals, Stanley, Chargers, Ramzik used to play for the Saints. I'm not sure he played for Spain. I'm just gonna say their names: Issa, Young, Burley, Wilson, Center, Seas, Ruiz, Simpkins. I think the Bengals, Lindstrom, Hendricks, right guards Martin, E. Campbell, Buchanan, Benson, Falk, Stevens, Beckett, Knighton. Defense, Rashad Lawrence for the Cardinals, Rashad Gary for the Texans, Montez Sweat for the football team, Willis McGinnis for the Patriots, Chase Young for the football team, Harrison Jr. for the Steelers, Greg Brown for the Cardinals, Myles Garrett for the Browns, Gonzalez, D tackle, number one D tackle for the NFC right now, Washington, Matthew Thomas for the Chargers, Bosa, and that's Joey Bosa. I think he's over there with the 49ers, Clark over there with the Bengals. Flowers and Sapp for the Jets. Hood, outside linebacker. Hardestein for the Titans. Hood for the Cardinals. Givens, Oliver, don't know who they play for. Deion Jones, Devin Bush, number one middle linebackers. And number two is Isaiah Simmons and Van Der Esch for the Texans. Willis, Julius Peppers, he's been there every year. He's leading the league in sacks this year. Josh Sweat for the Eagles. T. Till for the Chiefs. Cornerbacks, number one corner is Des Boone for the Eagles, Dean for the Chargers, Pride for the Saints, Henderson for the Jaguars, Myers, third corner, Clinton. I think Myers is for the Eagles. Clinton, I have no idea who he played for right now. I think the Titans, I want to say. But I know Anthony Jones played for the Titans and Holmes played for the Giants. Ackley, safety for the Washington football team, Bates for the Bengals, Aurora plays for the Lions, Burgess for the Bengals, White, James for the Chargers, Wallace for the Eagles, Sean Teller for the Patriots. No, not who the fuck named their player Sean Teller when we got a Sean Teller in the NFC side. I gotta go check that out. I gotta change that name. Burris, kickers. There we go. And let's look at the kick returners. Look like Ezekiel Elliott out here running kicks back. He can't do shit else. And then D Lamb out here and at cornerback running kicks back right now. So punt returners and kick returners, Vickers, and that's Vickers for the no, that's not the Raiders. King, wide receiver, height. Let's go look and see who they are. I want to see who this teller is for the AFC. Of course, he names his player a name that's already in the league. Change your name, dog. It's fucking God. All right. We know the MVP award. We already saw that. We know who went where. Marshall Falk actually won the MVP award. I went over these awards right now, man. All right, so season 6, man, it's been a crazy end of season 6, man. We had a lot of little turmoil at the end, but I see you guys are still playing strong. I know it's been a little while between games right now, man, but one of our partners, man, is going through it. So we on headset with this guy every day. Some of us live around him, and things are a little tough right now. So with that being said, I appreciate all y'all for still knocking y'all games out and keeping our league popping. We're definitely gonna have to do the off season tomorrow. The Super Bowl will be played as soon as I'm done talking, and we will get to the off season. The off season schedule will be put out the moment the Super Bowl is over. I'll put the off season schedule out. I'll get back in. Now remember, fellas, this draft class is almost going to be similar to the first year's draft class because a lot of guys, money is funny, and re-signing people is going to be hard. So you're going to have to really reset rosters and learn how to rebuild and start the process over again at the end of the day until we get into real draft and we do the complete start over with the new real draft and new teams and all that. But I would take this draft serious. Even the offseason, if you got money, play in free agency, do whatever you got to do to have your teams built. Manage the shit out of them and show your GM skills, man. This is AntHits, the franchise guru, man. Holla at you when I holla at you, you heard?